Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to understand how to send Google Form responses to another application using API by Pabbly. So over here our objective is that as soon as a new Google Form is submitted, automatically the details of that form submission should be sent to another application which is now natively integrated with Pabbly Connect. So to integrate or connect that application with Pabbly Connect, we are going to use a feature by Pabbly which is API by Pabbly. So over here we are going to create a connection between Google Forms and API by Pabbly. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also wish to learn this process step by step, then let me take you to my computer screen. Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video we are going to learn how to send Google Form responses to another application using API by Pabbly. So to do this, I have already opened the landing page of Pabbly simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we'll open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month. But I am an existing user, so I am going to click on sign in right over here. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm going to click on access now right over here. And now it is opening my dashboard. And to start with the automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as send Google Form responses to another application using API by Pabbly. And then we are going to click on create. And now it is opening the most important window for our automation, that is our workflow window. This is the most important window because we have triggered an action in this. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. By this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. So now I'm going to select my trigger application which is Google Forms because I want that as soon as a new response is received in my Google Forms, automatically my workflow should be triggered. So I'm going to search for Google Forms and then we are going to select it. And now for the trigger event, we are going to select it as new response received. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this URL in order to create a connection between our Google Forms account and our Pabbly's workflow. So first I'm going to copy this URL and then we are going to open our Google Forms. And over here you can see that this is the form that I've created and this is the same form I want to create this automation for. So over here we are going to go on responses and then we are going to go on view in sheets. So if you have not linked your Google Forms with your Google Sheets, you're going to get the option of link with sheet. So we have to link this Google Sheet with our Google Forms first. So yes, I'm going to open view in sheets and over here you can see that this is my Google Sheet. And now we are going to use this Google Sheet only in order to create a connection between our Google Forms account and our Pabbly's workflow. So to connect this, we are going to go on extensions and then add-ons, and over here you can see get add-on. So I'm going to go on this. And now we are going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here. So I'm going to search for it and as you can see the same, so I'm going to select it. And now you can see that I've already installed this Pabbly Connect webhooks extension. But if you haven't installed this, you are going to get an option to install this right over here. So you can install it. And as soon as you are going to install this, you are going to get an option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here. So as you know that I've already installed this. So now I'm going to go on initial setup. And over here it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So we are going to paste the URL we copied from our workflow over here. And now for the trigger column, we are going to enter the last column we have the data in. So over here we have the data in E. So I'm going to keep it as E. And then we are going to click on submit. And yes, you can see setup configured successfully. So this means that we have successfully connected our Google Forms account with our Pabbly's workflow. And over here you can see that it is saying waiting for a webhook response. And in the notes it is saying do a test submission /record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission. So to do this test submission, I'm going to open my Google Form. And from here we are going to go and preview the form. So now we have to do a test submission so that we can capture the webhook response. So for the name, I'm going to keep it as demo user. We are going to move on forward. For the email, we are going to keep it as demo@pabblytudes.com. Phone number as this. And now it is asking me for the property type. So I'm going to select it as a large single family house. And then I'm going to click on submit. And yes, you can see that we have successfully submitted this form. So this means that these form details have been sent to our Google Sheet. So I'm going to open my sheets. And yes, you can see that we have successfully captured the response over here too. Here's the name, the email, the phone number, and the property type that we entered. So after capturing the details in our Google Sheets, again, we are going to go on extensions and then Pabbly Connect webhooks. And then we have to keep in mind that this send on event button is always on, so that as soon as the new data is added in my Google Sheets, automatically the details will be sent to my workflow. And now we are going to go on initial setup. We have to send these details first to our workflow. So here you can see that the setup we successfully created right now. So now I'm going to click on send test so that we can send these details to our Pabbly's workflow. And yes, you can see that we have successfully sent these details to our workflow. It says test data sent successfully. So I'm going to open my workflow. And yes, you can see Pabbly has captured the response too. Over here, you can see the property type. Over here, you can see the spreadsheet name. We are going to move on forward. The name, the email, and the phone number that we entered. So with this, our trigger step is successful. And now we are moving on to our action step. For our action application, we are going to select API by Pabbly because we want to connect an application which is not natively integrated with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to search for it and then we are going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as execute API request. And then we are going to click on connect, and as you can see that we have successfully connected this, and now it is asking me for some details. So I'll let you know that I'm using MailerLite as the application right over here. So MailerLite has a native integration with Pabbly Connect, but I'm just using it as an example application. So to connect this application with the help of API by Pabbly, we are going to open developers.mailerlite.com, and as you can see the same. So over here we are going to go on subscribers and then posts. So we are going to select this because I want to create a new subscriber in my MailerLite account as soon as a new Google form is submitted. So after opening this, over here you can see the curl request. So I'm going to copy this curl request first, and now we are going back to our workflow. And over here we are going to go on this three dots, and over here you can see import curl request. So I'm going to open this, and now we are going to paste the request we copied from MailerLite developers, and then we are going to click on import curl request. And yes, you can see that we have successfully did this. Over here you can see most of the details are already filled in. I just have to change some of the details. Like over here I have to enter the API key from my MailerLite account. So first I'm going to delete this, and now we are going to open our MailerLite and enter the API key from that account. So I'm going to open my MailerLite, and over here we are going to go on from the left side bars to integrations. And now over here you can see the API. So I'm going to click on use. And as you can see that there are many API keys that I've already created. So I'm going to create a new right over here. So I'm going to click on generate new token, and then I'm going to name my token as dummy key. And then I'm going to agree with all the terms and conditions and click on create token. And yes, you can see that this is the API token. So I'm going to copy this token, and then we are going to paste this token in our workflow. So I'm going to paste it right over here. And now after pasting my API token, we are going to move on forward. Over here you can see the email, the name, and the company. So we are going to erase these details because we want to map these details. So first I'm going to erase all of these. And now we are going to map these details. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Forms as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So that's why we do mapping right over here. So I'm going to give you an example that over here, if in front of name I'm going to enter demo manually, so this will not change with every new response received because this is static information. But if I'm going to map it from the previous response, it will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here. So now it is asking me for email. So here we are going to search for email and map it. So as you can see, demo@pabblytudes.com. So I'm going to map it. And now we are going to do same for the name. I'm going to search for name, and as you can see, demo user. So I'm going to map it, and now it is asking me for the company. So I'm going to leave it as blank because this is not the required field. And now after doing all of this, I'm going to click on save and send test request. So I'll let you know that I have not entered many details over here by myself. I just imported the curl request from the developers.mailerlite.com. So from here I just imported the curl request, and most of the details were already filled in. I just mapped these details and entered my API key. And now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that a new subscriber has been created in our MailerLite account with the help of these details. So now I'm going to open my MailerLite, and from here we are going to go on subscribers. Oh, here you can see demo@pablitudes.com. So this means that my workflow is successful, but I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So to do this, I'm going to open my Google Forms and we are going to refresh this page. So we are going to do another test submission. So for the name, I'm going to keep it as test user this time. We are going to move on forward. For the email, I'm going to keep it as testuser@pablitudes.com. The phone number as this time, and then for the property type, I'm going to keep it as a 2-bedroom townhouse, and then I'm going to click on submit again. And yes, you can see that we have successfully submitted this form. So this means that the details of this form has been sent to my Google Sheets. Further, Google Sheets sent the details to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further created a new contact in our MailerLite with the help of API by Pabbly. So we are going to open our MailerLite account and check that if a new subscriber has been created or not. So this time we are not going to click on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Google Sheets first and check that if the details have been added there or not. And yes, you can see the details have been added. Over here you can see the name that we entered, the email, the phone number, and the property type, a 2-bedroom townhouse. So now we are going to open our MailerLite and check that if a new subscriber has been created or not. So we are going to refresh this subscribers page, and yes, you can see that now there are 6 subscribers, and over here you can see the new subscriber that we created, testuser@pablitudes.com. So with this, our workflow is successful, and I'll just summarize the workflow for you once. For a trigger application, we selected Google Forms. For the trigger event, I selected new response received. For the action application, we selected API by Pabbly, and then for the action event, we selected execute API request, because I wanted that as soon as a new Google Form response is received, automatically with the help of API by Pabbly, a new subscriber should be created in my MailerLite account too. So I'll let you know again that I use MailerLite as my example application. You can use any another application which is not natively integrated with Pabbly Connect. So over here you can see the 2 subscribers I created during this video. One is testuser@pablitudes.com and the another one is demo@pablitudes.com. So if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video, and for your reference, I'll just clone the workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly, you can integrate many more applications. So now, if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com, and if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.